come on in, tell a friend, all black everything. We back. Tavistock Institute. Tell lies to your vision, chapter 5. We're gonna get right into it. Having some difficulties lately with these. I don't know what's going on, but we back again, y'all. Thank you for checking us out, tuning in, like it, share, discuss avoiding mass psychology. That is, quote, phenomenon become overwhelmed by the mass experience, end quote. Brainwashers call it, quote, institutional human aggressive, quote. But people like Freud, according to Freud, these aggressive, destructive traits are, quote, part of man's primal nature, end quote. The purpose of society, according to Freud, against which the human mind is ultimately powerless. Freud's principal points, the most powerful such appeals are to the unconscious, which has the power to dominate and throw aside reason. The mass has never thirsted for truth, Freud wrote, referring to the crowds of raw minds swayed by elementary needs. Quote, they demand illusion and cannot do without it. They constantly give unreal precedence over what is real. They are as what is true. They have an evident tendency not to distinguish between the two. Freud, in his mass psychology, stated that an individual's moral inhibitions and outlook can be broken down as parts of mass. Bonnie Wolf succinctly tells the story of Freud's so-called powerful mass experience, which can gratify emotions. Quote, Freud further stated that under this condition, with man's reason dominated by emotionalism and unable and unwilling to look for truth, the individual in a crowd loses his moral conscience for what Freud calls his ego ideal. Freud, this is not necessarily a bad thing. Quote, since the moral conscious or the superego causes man to unnaturally repress his basic animal instincts. This, Freud claims, produces neurosis. In a crowd organized around people's emotions, the individual would exhibit a tendency to let himself go, to free himself of all moral and social inhibitions. Isolated, he may be a cultivated individual. In a crowd, he is a barbarian, that is, creature acting by instinct. Therefore, the key to mass brainwashing is to create an organized, controlled environment in which stress and tension can be applied to break down morally informed judgment, thereby making an individual more susceptible to suggestion. The point to be made here is that the co-participation in the crowd causes a person to respond to situations from an emotional, non-thinking set of reference points. In the case of Nazi Germany, coming across the radio in millions of homes was the voice of one man, Adolf Hitler. The fact that all Germany was hearing his voice at the same time gave an enhanced power to the message. The listener was literally part of a mass experience, taking it all in from an emotionally non-thinking set of reference points. Hitler's speeches were some of the first mass media events in history, as carefully staged as many events in modern history. Hmm. Both Tavistock and Frankfurt School paid close attention to the Nazi propaganda techniques, which they willingly incorporated into their research. The aim of this project was, as stated in Adorno's Introduction to Psychology of Music, Sociology of Music, Introduction into the Sociology of Music, was to program a mass culture as a form of extensive social control that would steadily degrade its consumers. The application of their research into human behavior was set to launch a decade later in a major, irreversible cultural revolution in America. See how they do this nonsense on purpose. Wicked, wicked, wicked individuals, man. Powerful information. We're gonna stop right there. Tavistock Institute, Chapter 5, Tell Lies to Your Vision or Television. We coming back, y'all. All black everything. Thinkers, Plaque, Big Dreams, Many Streams. Peace and love. Come back, check us out. We're gonna just keep on rolling through.